Did you know that 1 in 7 women suffer from postpartum depression after child delivery? Well, trust me to give you more information on that. As usual, this is your girl, Dr. Onyinye, and you're welcome to All Around Health Talk. Today, we're going to be talking about something very important, something every woman, something every man, every expecting parent, and every new parent should know as part of our pregnancy series. But before we get right into the details, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, put on your notification to make sure you get notified for every single time I post a new video. Okay, so today we're going to be focusing on what to expect after child delivery, basically what to expect after the D-Day. Now, this period is generally called the postpartum period or the 4th trimester. Now, during this postpartum period, the woman's body is going through a healing phase. But at the same time, she's experiencing a lot of changes physically, emotionally, and mentally. So we want to talk about all of these things that will be happening postpartum so that we're prepared and we're not caught unawares. We're going to start with physical changes. Now, one of the first things you're going to notice after delivery is the uterine involution. Now, this means that your uterine is shrinking back to its pre-pregnancy state. You will actually notice uterine involution on the D-Day. So basically, immediately the baby and the placenta are delivered, your uterus begins to shrink. Now, getting that uterus back to its pre-pregnancy state is not going to take 1 week. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks for your uterus to get back to its original size. Now, while your uterus is shrinking, it's going to be accompanied by contractions, and these contractions will resemble menstrual cramps. So yes, welcome back to menstrual cramps. Now, it's going to resemble menstrual cramps, and it's going to be much more intense during breastfeeding. Why? Because when you breastfeed, oxytocin is released, and oxytocin helps uterine contraction. So, number 1, uterine involution. Number 2, we're going to notice vaginal bleeding, and this is going to be seen in women who had a C-section and women who had vaginal delivery. Now, this is remnant from your uterus being eliminated in the form of blood. The first 1 to 4 days, it's red blood. 4 to 10 days, it begins to get gradually yellowish brownish in color, right? And then from the 10th day all the way to 6 weeks, it gradually becomes a white vaginal secretion. Now, if you have any secretion that smells, that itches, and does not feel right, accompanied with fever, you need to get your doctor involved immediately. Another thing we're going to notice specifically in women who had vaginal delivery is perineal discomfort, which is that region between your vagina and your anus. Because of the whole process of contraction during a vaginal birth, there's going to be some level of discomfort in that area as the woman heals. Now, this could be as a result of tears that occurred while delivering the baby or while pushing out the baby, or in cases of women who required an episiotomy to be able to deliver their baby. In these cases, we will recommend that you use sitz baths or ice packs to help relieve the discomfort, but it should disappear in a few weeks. Then, for women who had C-section, it's important that you know that you're going to need to be in the hospital for at least 2 to 4 days after delivering your baby, because a C-section is an invasive process. Your tissues, muscles have been cut open for your baby to come out. So you're going to need 2 to 4 days in the hospital for a follow-up. Now, it's going to take you about 6 to 8 weeks to completely heal from the surgery. So please do not push yourself too much. If you've had a C-section, do not overexert yourself. Your body is gradually healing. Okay, so give yourself time, and be gracious with yourself. Another thing we're going to notice are breast changes. We notice them during pregnancy, but now we're going to notice even more changes because our breasts are now focused on feeding this new human being, right? So you're going to notice breast engorgement. You're going to notice that your nipples are sore. You're going to notice milk leaking from your nipples. You might even notice nipple pain, right? And all of these are common, and they will last for just a few days, and then you will feel better. And we're going to notice bladder and bowel changes. So you might notice that you're having urine retention, and this is going to be because of the weak pelvic floor muscles that occurred during child delivery. Constipation might be as a result of the pain medication you're taking and the iron tablets you took during your pregnancy period. What to do in these cases? Focus on your Kegel exercises, hydrate properly, and make sure you're eating foods that are rich in fiber. In terms of emotional and mental changes, what are we going to notice? Now, certain conditions become prevalent in this phase of pregnancy. So, baby blues. Baby blues are actually very common in women. 80% of women postpartum suffer from baby blues. Baby blues tend to happen 2 to 3 days after delivery, and by 2 weeks they've disappeared. So they disappear on their own, and it could be caused by all the hormonal shifts that your body is experiencing, lack of sleep, and all the emotional stress attached to this new responsibility that you have. What are the symptoms of baby blues? You're going to have mood swings, you're going to cry for no reason, you're going to feel irritable, and sometimes you might struggle with sleep, okay, and be anxious. These are symptoms of baby blues, but it lasts for 2 weeks and you should feel better afterwards. However, there is something called the postpartum depression, which is much more prolonged and much more dangerous. This is common in 1 out of every 7 women that deliver a baby. It is characterized by persistent sadness and feeling of guilt. You're going to notice that this woman begins to withdraw from her loved ones. She's having difficulty bonding with her baby. She's having thoughts of self-harm and thoughts of harm towards her baby. And in these cases, women need help. If you're experiencing any of the symptoms, remember you're not alone and help is available. And if you're a family member and have noticed these symptoms in your family member who just delivered, please extend help. Help is available. There is also something called the postpartum anxiety and OCD, which is an obsessive compulsion, intrusive thoughts, constant worrying about the safety of your baby. Is your baby breathing? Who is touching your baby? Do they have germs on them? So you're going to have repetitive behavior that you're constantly checking to see if your baby is alive, if your baby is breathing. Those are characteristics of postpartum anxiety and OCD, which is actually very, very common, but we don't talk about it enough. I've spoken to a lot of women who have delivered baby who told me, I was overprotective, I was anxious, I was having OCD, and I was constantly worrying about my baby. So it's very common and help is available. Again, please remember to seek help. We're going to notice some changes with breastfeeding. Remember, your body is trying to get used to this process. This is new for you and your baby, so you might experience sore nipples, like I mentioned before, latching issues, low milk production, breast engorgement, blocked milk ducts. All of these can happen. Again, help is available. Most women think that after delivery, the main focus becomes the baby. No, you also remain important. So just as your baby needs to see a pediatrician, you need to see a gynecologist regularly. They'll help you identify this problem. They'll help you go through these situations and give you advice on what to do. In some countries, there are lactation consultants who can also help in terms of breastfeeding issues. Last but not the least, sleep deprivation is real. Newborns tend to wake up every 2 to 3 hours. This will lead to irregular sleeping pattern for the mom and for the father. Okay, and we know that if you've not slept well, everything is messy. Your mood is messy, your memory is messy, and your ability to make decisions is also affected. So what's my advice? My advice is for you to sleep when your baby sleeps. It's not going to be easy, but it will help you adjust to this irregular sleeping pattern. So sleep when your baby sleeps, and feel free to share the night shift with your partner. Okay, the baby is for both of you. Okay, it's a partnership, so you are allowed to sleep in at some nights while your husband wakes up to check on the baby. You can take turns, and that way you both are feeling strong and healthy enough to do a good job as parents to this baby. Now, to end, I'm going to leave you with some self-care tips postpartum. Remember to eat. Please eat nutritious food. You are feeding an entire human being for the next 6 months. So eat well. Also hydrate well. And start physical activity as soon as your body allows you. You don't need to go to the gym. Take walks, go jogging, dance. Simple physical activities could help you feel better too. And medical follow-up. Do not just go to a pediatrician for your baby. See your gynecologist regularly because you also need to be taken care of. Well, if this video has been interesting, go ahead and share it with others so we can enlighten other people. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. Leave a comment if you have a question. And do not forget to subscribe. Okay? Before you go, my book is still available on Amazon, so feel free to click on the link in the description so that you can get your copy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.